So, hello everybody and welcome back to my live cooking again. I think this is week 6. Thank you so much for joining in the last few. I really appreciate it. So this week we're going to do a Chinese beef pancake, which is kind of like a Chinese street food. And I did post, I'm going to post a veggie option as well, and also a nice side that goes with it as well. But today I'm just going to do the beef pancakes as they are. It's quite a simple dish. The dough is very simple to make, but I think it's going to be really nice. As I mentioned before, I've got a YouTube channel up at the moment called Elements of 3. It's on my Instagram profile. If you want to go over there, click that wonderful subscribe button, and that would be really cool. So I hope you are having a good day, and please feel free to fire off any questions, and my lovely team of support will answer the questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. So what we're going to do first is, I've already sort of got a few things ready. I've got a little bit of garlic and ginger in here that I've sliced and shredded. The recipe says use chilli. I'm using dry chilli, but you can use a fresh chilli. I've got some spring onions, about 6 spring onions that I've chopped and shredded down. I've got a red pepper that I've just diced, which is here, and a little bit of the beef mince there. Okay. So the recipe for the flour, for the dough, we'll go through in a minute. So we're going to get this stuff cooking in a mo, which is going to go really well. So I'm going to move you over, my video camera over, and we can start on the cooking process. So
Simon, if you're making a vegetarian version, what would you put in the vegetarian?
So
things?
I think the recipe I'm going to put up is going to use just normal button mushrooms. It's going to use dried mushrooms, which you rehydrate, which are really good. Don't use a lot. Pepper, spring onions, a Napa cabbage if you can get it, but a savoy cabbage is also useful. And I would do that as well. The process to do that is almost exactly the same as the meat option. So that's why I'm just doing that today. Just going to grab my other ingredient out, which is sesame oil. And then a little bit of sugar, and there we go. In case you guys haven't wanted to mention it, my lovely friend made this wonderful yukata chef jacket, which I'm loving to wear. So I'm really excited. I thought very wonderful in it. So I'm really pleased. So we'll move over to cooking first. So I'm going to get the fire on, and we're going to get that going first. So what you're going to do first is we're going to get the beef in first. Give that a nice good mix and break it up nicely. I'm not going to put any oil in this because I want to get all that fat that's in the beef out a little bit, and that will help cook it easily. If you're doing the vegetarian one, you want to put a little tablespoon of oil for sauteing off the vegetables in a nice hot frying pan. Okay, so that's the best thing about that. So we'll add the beef first. So I'm going to just pop that all in. Don't forget to take the little plastic off. Okay, nobody wants to eat that. Okay, I'm just going to break that up there, and that's going to start cooking. Okay, so there we go. So in the meantime, okay, if you haven't done already, we got in here, I got 300 grams of strong flour, 50 grams of corn flour, and I've got about a teaspoon or about 4 grams of dried yeast. If you're using fresh, basically you need to 3 times the amount. Okay, so if you're using 4 grams, so 12 grams of fresh yeast. Okay, and then about a teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to need 175 grams of warm water. Okay, so we're going to cook this cooking here. Okay, so for the dough. Here. Just going to move my camera slightly so that we can see the dough being made. Put that over here. So basically what I'm going to do here, there we go. I'm going to put flour and the corn flour in there. Okay. sieve that into there. Sometimes you always get a few impurities, that's why we're sieving it. Take that out. And then you're going to add the salt in one part of the bowl and the yeast in the other part. And the reason we do that is because if you add the salt and it contacts the yeast at the beginning, it will cause it to kill the yeast, because it doesn't like it. It needs a little bit of gentle easing with this. And then we're going to use 175 mils of warm water. So I'm going to take a little bit of this kettle water, a little bit of cold water. Okay, and you want it about just a bit over blood temperature. Okay. A little bit more. Lovely. Okay, that's what we want. Perfect, about 175 mils, that's just what we want. Just going to give that beef a little stir. Okay. We're going to add water to the flour and all the other ingredients. Get a little spoon. I'm just going to give this a light little mix with our hands first. The spoon first, just to get it in. And then we'll add our hands in, start getting that on the go. Okay, get rid of this chopping board now. You are going to need a rolling pin for later to roll this out. Okay. Okay, lovely. Once it's all kind of majority of all of it's mixed together, you can get that. Start mixing your hand, bring it all together. Okay, now try not to add any more water at this stage, because the dough is wetter than people think. And if you add any more, you might not need it, it'll be even harder. I'm feeling this. Should be just right. Just basically push it in there nice and neatly. Put that a bit more closer there.
What do you want it to feel like? Just freely?
Yeah, it wants to basically, when you squeeze it, it wants to not feel really tough. It wants to just feel still soft, but it doesn't want to stick to your fingers. It's a fine balance. I mean, if people that have made dough before or bread before, yeah, I understand what a nice dough is, but it is just a bit of practice, getting used to what it feels like. And because this is more the pancake, but it's not pancake because kind of we know it as British people, but that's about it. And then once you've got it all come together, you're going to put it and you're going to knead it onto the work surface for a few minutes. Okay.
If it didn't come together at all, could you add a smaller amount?
Yeah, just literally add it like a tablespoon at a time. So you can give it a little knead. Now, okay. Okay, let's have a look at our beef now. Move this round a little bit. Lovely, so that's kind of what we're looking for there. Okay, beef's starting to come up nice. And now at this stage I'm going to add the chilli, ginger and the garlic. Okay. The reason I don't add this at the beginning is because you don't want it to burn. And this, once the natural flavours of that beautiful ginger and chilli and garlic come through, that's when you can start adding your next ingredient. So it's not going to take long, probably about 15-30 seconds. I'm going to add the peppers in. Give that a little mix. Okay, we're going to leave that to cook for a few more minutes. Okay, let's head back to the dough. Okay, so now, what we're going to do, we're going to pop that in there. That's about it. And when you squeeze it, it just slightly starts to spring back, but it's not sticking to my fingers. Okay, I'm going to put that in the bowl. And put just a teeny bit of cling film over. Yep, and I'm just going to leave that for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, it's not like a normal dough where you're making bread. It's just to help it give a little bit of springiness. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that just on the edge of my kitchen, my stove, just like so, and then just the warmth from the beef. Yeah, of course. Okay, there we are. That's the beef there. Oh, a little bit out of there. Oh well. One failed pepper didn't go through. Okay. Just gonna have a little clean down here of this bench. Okay, you might need a little bit of flour in a minute. Okay, just to help with your when we roll it out. Okay, and that's it. Lovely. Okay, so all that should have left, we've got just some sugar, some sesame oil, and some spring onions to add. And then what we're going to do is we're then going to put it into a bowl in the fridge. With stuff like this, you can make it earlier in the day, do it later. A bit easier a bit to stuff the pancakes in when it's cold. But if you haven't, then 10 minutes in the fridge is plenty. Okay? Cook the peppers as much as you like. I like them with a bit of bite. So I'm going to add my spring onions now. Okay. And I've got this on quite the high heat anyway, so it's just cooking nicely, okay? Then we're going to add sugar, sesame oil. You use any sugar, I'm just use some granulated sugar, it's fine. I'm using about a tablespoon, and that's going to go in. Okay, about a tablespoon of sesame oil. And a little bit more because I like it. Again with this, you guys just interpret it how you want. You know, add some other vegetables in there. You know, you can put sweet corn in there, you can put peas. You could even put a bit of cabbage in there. You could chop down some fresh chilies if you like it with a bit of heat. Maybe put like maybe a Scotch bonnet in there if you wanted, and that will give a nice hot spicy flavour. But you know, do whatever you want. You know, use a fish one if you wanted to do, and do some shredded prawns, or you could do squid if you want to do a seafood flavour. Okay, just make it exciting if you want to do. You can even add some sesame seeds if you wanted, black or white. Okay, if you're going to add the white ones, I wouldn't bother toasting them first. I'm probably going to toast in the pan anyway. There we go.
Did you put sesame seeds in the dough if you wanted?
Yeah, I've done that before. You know, you could also try using maybe a different dough, perhaps. You know, you could try if you want to be a little bit healthier. You could use brown flour. Don't use like a seeded one because I don't know. I really want that to be quite so bitty. So that I'm going to take off now. That's there. That's that done. Yep. And I'm just going to pop that in there into. Lovely. Little trick just to help is if you make a little sort of hole in the middle like that and press it to the sides, that can help it cool down a little bit quicker. That's the fridge.
Smells delicious.
Oh, I know, it's really, really moreish. Okay, so in a few minutes we're going to need a rolling pin. I'm going to reuse this frying pan. I'm just going to give it a little wipe out. Say washing up, you know, you don't have to clean everything thoroughly, because if you're just going to use it again, just going to sprinkle a little bit of water. Give it a quick wipe out with a cloth. Okay. At this point, you want to pop your oven on at about 180 degrees. Okay, and you want a baking tray.
What gas mark would you need?
So I've got electric, so I'm doing 180 degrees, so I think that's gas mark 4. 170 fan, 180 without, gas mark 4. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on the tray. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the frying pan ready to go for in a minute. It's about 2 tablespoons. Okay, just going to use my hand. The only reason I'm doing this is not that they should, but just in case you don't want them to stick. Okay, lovely. So, rolling pin. I'm going to grab yourself a little bit of flour. Okay, just to make it a bit easier for rolling. Okay. Move this out of the way and pop that there. Okay, so the dough now. The dough rises very little. Okay, so I'll go with that. So what you want to do, if you feel it already, it's a little bit slacker. I'm just going to move it out slightly. Okay, I'm going to roll it onto itself, just like that. Okay, roll into a sausage. So the way you do this, you start from the middle and just roll and push away with your hands, and that will kind of get the shape. Don't worry about this crease, that doesn't matter whatsoever right now. So then with a knife, or if you've got one, dough scraper, this will make 12. You can do more if you want to, but they'll be a bit smaller. So I think this amount of dough makes 12 decent size. So you'll be doing this in half again, and then each one into 3. That one looks a little bit bigger. I'll take that one. That one looks a bit small. Okay, so there you got 12 roughly evenly sized, and you'll see already that the yeast has already started to grow. It's forming holes inside. Okay, so here's what we're going to do next. So we're going to take this, with our fingers, just going to gently roll it like so. Okay, and we're going to roll it out. I'm not going to use any flour because of the way it feels. It doesn't feel like it's going to stick at all. So try and get it as round as possible. It's not essential, but round, just more for aesthetics. And you want to roll it about 2 mil thick. Okay, I'm going to pop them there. Okay, next one. And these are great, you know, I've made these before, and I like it if you've got some left, which is very rare. They work quite well having a day after, just dipped in a bit of sweet chilli sauce. That's always quite nice. Okay, roll it out nice. I know I've had a fair few responses of people that have been doing the other live shows, and I'm so pleased that so many people have been able to get involved with it, because it's good to sort of try some new things, and things that are a bit simpler, and things that sound like a lot of work, kind of like a ramen, but it's one of those that kind of are all in the prep work. I mean, here as well, again, all about the prep. Make your mince up, you're filling up earlier in the day, or the night before if you want, ready to cook these in the morning. I mean, these as well, I'm going to probably have them for dinner with a bit of side veg and wok fried greens with some cashew nuts, but have them as a snack. Okay.
Could you freeze them if you wanted to?
Yeah, you could. I would freeze them once they're filled and rolled. I wouldn't cook them and freeze them because they're never so nice. So, and you could also, if you wanted a slightly healthier option, you could always, instead of pan frying them, which I'm going to do in a minute, I would bake them from just as they are, and they take about 180 degrees, gas mark 4, take about 25-30 minutes. But to get a nice colour on them, you can just gently egg wash them. So just beat an egg and glaze them up on there with a brush. Okay, and that gives a nice colour. Okay.
And where do these originate from?
These are actually Chinese, and they're a Chinese street food, and they are so nice, so Moorish, and so easily to be able to do what you want with them.
I think they make a good picnic food.
Yeah, why not? Make all your friends jealous. So that's there. So I'm just going to get my filling out of the fridge. It's here. It's not cooled down massively, but that's fine. Okay. So just use a tablespoon here. So a little bit of steam in there. So I'm going to take a tablespoon and I'll pop it in the centre. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the edges and I'm going to just gently overlap them like so. Okay. Pleating, exactly.
You don't need anything to stick it together, it just sticks
No,
itself?
it will come together very nicely. When you flip it over, squash it down a little bit and roll it. And the reason I do that is because there's obviously more dough on one side, so you want to squash it down so it's a bit even. And I lay them just in front there. Okay, and just fill the rest. Okay. If there's any mix left, always put it over a bit of rice the following day. Make a donburi. Okay, lovely. So we're going to pinch that there. You don't have to go and make them round if you don't want to. I just like to, because that's the chef in me.
And how would you cook your wok fried greens if you were going to have a hot vegetable with them? So
the recipe I'm going to put up is going to have chilli and garlic and ginger. And I would put that in a hot wok with about a tablespoon of oil. Add the chilli and garlic and ginger to that, so it starts to just gently warm through and starts to get fragrant. Then I'm going to use broccoli, sugar snap peas and monchou. Cut the broccoli down into florets, pop them in, get a nice bit of colour on them, and then add the sugar snaps and the monchou. Fry them off, cook them off for a little bit longer, and then I'd add soy sauce, sesame oil and sugar at the end, and that just gives it a really nice flavour. Actually, one thing I did forget to mention, if you're doing it with nuts, but you don't have to in case you have a nut allergy, if you take a tablespoon of nuts, of cashew nuts or peanuts, whatever you want to use, pop them into the frying pan first, just gently toast them, then take them out, and then you can start putting the vegetables and the chilli and garlic and ginger in it, and that'll give a really nice nutty flavour.
Would you add the cashew nuts at the end?
Yeah, yeah. Put it back in all in once it's cold, once it's all cooked. Sorry, and that'll just be really nice. Gives a nice nuttiness to a really nice, lovely dish there. Okay. At this point, I'm just going to turn the stove on low because I can only cook 6 of these at a time in my frying pan. So I'm going to move my camera. And I'm going to get 6 of these cooking first while I roll the rest of them. So I'm going to pop that just there. So here we go. Beautiful. So let's just put about a tablespoon of oil over the earlier. Oven's on nice and warm. Okay. Continue rolling these. You're not able to get these done as quickly as I, you can always just put a teeny bit of flour on, just to save you just so it doesn't stick in. Okay. Bet there's a postman or something that enjoys letting dogs. So, there's the frying pan, it's nice and warm now. I'm going to put these in seam side up.
Why is seam side up?
Because I want to give it more time cooking on the other side, because it's a lot more flour, a lot more dough, and then I can gently flip them over, turn the heat down and just cook them gently and then put them in the tray. Okay, so that's why. And they're not going to take long to colour up, it'll take about 2-3 minutes. And once you've got a nice golden brown, I'll flip them over. Okay. Nobody at the door? Noisy neighbours probably. Now you'll probably need a spatula of some sort, and you might find that it will probably take a little bit of the oil because it's a dough and it will absorb that fat, but don't worry, it's not going to be a problem at all.
Could you use other oils other than vegetable oil if
Yeah.
you want to be a bit more health conscious?
Yeah, you could use coconut oil, that would be quite nice as well. You can, but if you didn't want to fry them at all, I would probably, like I said earlier, just bake them, and that would be probably one of the healthiest ways to do it, without adding any oil at all. Whoever gets this one is very fortunate.
This.
That's that one sorted. Lovely. So, got our pancakes, they're nicely cooking now, so that's what you want, that kind of colour. Yeah, nice and golden brown. A little bit on one side, a little bit longer on those 2. 3 in fact, they're a bit anemic. Okay, so we're going to cook that now for 2-3 minutes on each side. Pop them to the tray, finish them in the oven, and I'll quickly clean down, grab my tray, and we're going to serve them up. And that's going to be lovely. Okay. I usually just fry them, but I'm finding that when you just fry them, they can sometimes be a little bit doughy. So I don't. I like to put them in the oven just for 10 minutes, just to finish them off, and then you've got a nice cooked little pancake ready for everyone to enjoy. Okay, like I said, into two different fillings if you want. You know, if you like the satay flavours, maybe you could do a little vegetables with satay or beef or whatever. World is your oyster. Make it.
Could you go Indian flavours?
Of course you could. You know, you can make like a little chicken curry and pop that in there. That would be quite nice. You know, it doesn't have to be a Chinese ingredients at all. You know, just make it as exciting as you want, and try it out for different things. You know, I don't know if they'll work. If you've got like a rock box or an outside barbecue kind of idea, you can always gently cook them in there. They'll be really nice. They'll give a nice smoky flavour. You could even do Moroccan flavours, or like a tagine you could put in there. That could work quite well. There's loads of different things you could do. Plate. There we go. Right, let's look at the other side of these. So that's about what you want there. So now I'm going to pop these on there. You might find when you put the second lot in the frying pan, you might need to add a touch more oil, because like I said, these absorb them. Again, skin side down, seam side up even.
It's not raw chicken.
No, it's not. A touch more oil.
My waistline.
Huh?
My waistline.
Oh well. You can't do healthy. Got to be nice and rich. Beautiful. So there we are. So there we're going to cook these, pop them in the oven, and that's going to be perfection. Okay.
Can you do a dipping sauce for this?
Yeah. In fact, why don't we do a little dipping sauce? So let's do a little bowl, a little spoon. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of sweet chili sauce, a bit of soy sauce, sesame oil, and a touch of honey. Okay, just to give a nice bit of sweetness. So I'm just going to put about a tablespoon of each and a teaspoon of honey in. So honey goes in first. Okay, just going to use clear honey, sweet chili sauce. You know, you could have it just on its own with sweet chili sauce if you want to, but I quite like it mixed with a few other little bits. I'm using light soy sauce because I prefer the flavour of it. Dark sauce is a bit better. There we go. Lovely. Flip that over. Hear the sound of slapping lips when somebody's getting hungry. Okay. Sesame oil.
If you wanted to make it spicy, just dipping sauce, how would you do that?
Or sriracha. I mean, I'd maybe like half a tablespoon of sriracha in there. Might be quite nice. Yeah, actually, that would be nice. Sriracha. If you've got any like chili sauces, if you like your chili sauces or the habanero spice chili sauces, use them. There you go. Just like the brought together the mic, so lovely. Okay. Now about where I want to be. Turn that down. They're going to go in the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, right. So there we are, guys. It should be about 10 minutes now. Okay, turn that oven off. Oh, they smell lovely. Oh, beautiful. Pop that up there. Okay. Pop them on the plate. There we are. And there we have it, guys. Nice, beautiful little mound of pancakes with a little sweet chili dipping sauce. So there you are. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. And please tune in for next week. It's going to be pork katsu curry. Just a little heads up if you're tuning in for then. You want about a small bag of panko breadcrumbs. As you can use other breadcrumbs, but panko really do make the dish complete. I definitely know Waitrose do them. If you've got Waitrose near you, definitely pick some panko breadcrumbs. But until then, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers. Bye.